I want to welcome everybody to Skip's RC Raceway, and tonight we're going to do a little review on the Speed Passion speed control and motor. And what we're going to be reviewing tonight is going to be the 3.0 13.5 motor, and also we're going to be doing the Speed Passion 2.0 speed control. And just to give you a little idea of what we've got set up here, we've got an old XX Losi, and the reason that I picked the old XX is I thought, well, everybody's not running new equipment, so why not start out with something that's a little bit older, giving everybody an idea of how things are going to work even in the older equipment. But it's a XX Losi. Of course, that's got the 2.19 tranny in it. We're going to be running a 3650 LiPo in there is what we're going to be running for the LiPo. And then, of course, I'm going to be using the Spectrum radio system. But just what I might mention as far as the installation of the Speed Passion into the car, went in just about like any other speed control and motor would go into your car. The only thing that I noticed was two things that I think they might think about as far as off-road people and oval racers, and that is that the motor leads are just a little bit short as far as putting the speed control down into the chassis. Had to mount it up above the battery in order to give me enough length on the cables for the motor. I'm sorry. Also, the connector that comes for the sensor for the motor is also only about 3 inches long, and I had to purchase an extra cable for that also. So that's something that Speed Passion might think about, and that maybe you ought to give everybody a little bit extra and they can cut off or put something together the way they want it rather than giving short cables on the speed control and the motor. But what we're going to do now is I've got the motor set up where the timing is just at 0, and we're going to start out with that. And then the speed control also has been turned down, and I think I've got like maybe 3% advance on the speed control. But what we're going to do is we're going to go out and run a few laps with it and find out what the lap times are, and then we'll bring it back and we'll readjust the speed control and put some timing into the motor. So we're going to do that right now. We'll be back in just a minute. Okay, here we go with everything set pretty much in the stock position. Going to run about 10 laps and see what our best lap time is. Then we'll go make some changes and come back. One of the things about Speed Passion, very smooth operation. Nice lap there, got right down around the pipe. Well, after going out for that practice run, I had 2 fairly good laps, but nothing to brag about. I think I had a 5:36 and a 5:39. Of course, that's going to vary with the condition of the track, whether the track's dry, the track's wet, how much bite you're getting. But it's still not a great lap. I think the last race day that we had, we were turning 480s, 490s, something like that. So I really need some more speed, I think is what I need. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how on the Speed Passion you can take the adjusting board that comes with the speed control, and we're going to change the timing on the motor. As I said, I had the motor set at 0 timing, and I did change the gear on it a little bit, decided to go with a lower gear because it was cogging a little bit because the timing, I think, was too low actually on the motor. So what we're going to do now is I am going to turn on the speed control, and you're going to see here that the adjusting board is going to light up, which it has. And of course you've got, I think, 10 different adjustments that you can make on the board, and I've come up with number 1, which tells me I'm in the number 1 position, but we're going to go to where the timing is, and that should be number 9. We're going to number 9, and you can see that I had it on the 2nd position, which is, I think, 3.5. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over to the 2nd button, and I'm going to increase it up to, let me run through here, but it looks like it goes to 8, and I'm going to put it up on 8. And then you hit the OK, and then that changes the setting on the speed control. So I'll punch that in there, and now it says in setting number 9, I'm up to 8, which I think is like 30% increase on the timing, and that is going to really give it a lot more zip, I'm going to guarantee you. But what we're going to do now, you just turn it back off, you unplug the wire from the setting board, and you replug in the wire from the receiver, and you are about ready to go. I'll get it in here directly. There we go. So now I'm ready to take it back out and try it again, and we'll see how the lap times compare now that I've zipped the timing up on her a little bit. But we'll be right back after this little test run. Surely these lap times are going to be just a little bit faster here now, as it just acts like it's got just a little bit more punch. Okay, after that test session, we went out, and the lap times did pick up a little bit, but just slightly. And some of it may be the way the car is handling, but there was definitely an increase in the power, and you could tell that the car had more punch. Now, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to put in just a little bit of drag brake, and also while we were down there a while ago, I went ahead and put another 10 degrees, or the only 10 degrees timing that you can put into the motor. So once again, it should step up just a little bit, but like I say, we're going to turn it on here, and hopefully you can see it right here with the setting board again. And I'm going to punch up to number 2, and it shows that I'm on setting number 3, which I believe is 10% drag brake, and I'm going to increase that up to number 4, which is going to put me at 20% drag brake, which is going to let me go into the turn probably just a little bit better, and hopefully that'll help the handling. So that's what we're going to do this time. It's set. We're ready to do that. Turn her back off. Same thing we did a while ago. Unplug the setting board and replug the wire from the transmitter back in, and we're going to be ready to go. So we're going to go out for one more test session and see if we can get those lap times down just a little bit. But we'll be back right after this next test session. Still think I could use probably a little bit more drag brake here. It's still not going in the corner the way I'd like for it to. Getting close though. Anxious to see what the lap times are here. But the Speed Passion, that's one thing about the Speed Passion, they are so smooth. Well, I'm not sure we set out to, or we have proved what we set out to do here tonight, and that was to show that you could increase the performance of the motor in the car by increasing the timing on the speed control and the motor also. So the test is kind of inconclusive as far as I'm concerned so far, but still Speed Passion has made a really good product here, and we have a lot of guys here at Skip's RC Raceway that are running them and are very happy with them, and have made the 13.5 competitive with, say, 8.5, 6.5, 7.5s, and have run right with us in the A mains. But one thing I did want to point out, whenever you're setting up your system, you want one of these guys with you. You want to be checking that motor temperature. That's kind of what the book is. You go by that motor temperature. You don't want to get them too hot, and that will help you determine what your gearing is going to be. And so far, the motor temperature has been staying, gee whiz, right at 100 or 105, something like that. It hasn't been getting hot at all. But this is going to conclude the field test for the Speed Passion 2.0 speed control and the 3.0 motor. And I hope this helps you guys out. Oh, by the way, I wanted to make sure and tell you the gearing on this double X Losi, I was at 3478. So that might give you an idea where you might start. I originally had gone down to 29 also, and felt like maybe it had a little bit more punch with 29, and the lap times picked up just slightly. So I may be just a little bit over geared. Maybe next time we'll have a little bit more time to play with it and get it a little bit closer. But that's going to be doing it for RC Track Talk here tonight at Skip's RC Raceway. Thanks a lot, Skip. Up into the wall, now the outside wall. I may have to put a little drag brake in it.